Hi guys. I was not intending on doing any readings today, but for some reason I felt the need to do some. So I don't know if it's going to be one reading, two readings, or three, but I guess there's a specific message that someone needs to hear, or everyone, because I was not going to do any today. No. All right. So if you like me or the reading, give it a like, please. Subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading, check the email in the description. Okay? All right. Let's do it. Okay. What is this message for the collective? What is this message for the collective? There's like this massive shift of new beginnings, it seems, for people. For the collective, I guess, right? It seems like this massive shift of new beginnings, okay? But we have to be aware of how they're going to come in, all right? These shifts might come in a little chaotic, a little in a way we don't want them to come in, all right? I just heard like forced changes, forced growth, forced separation. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. There's a lot of, I had a reading like this similar, but I guess it needs to come back out. Whatever. There's a lot of, there's been like this universal karma imbalance, okay? It seems like the people that are winning don't deserve to be winning, or they are abusing their power, all right? These people are not spiritually aware. They're not self-aware, okay? And they have been using like lower level activity, lower level behavior to just keep progressing and keep winning, you know, in life, right? Okay. See? They are about to be left out. Some of them have planted seeds that carried really negative, dark, abyssal energy, right? I'm hearing that term again, rotten fruit, okay? And these things are coming back to bite them in the ass, all right? This is a collective thing. You might know of people like this. You might be watching people like this, okay? I had a similar reading like this a few weeks ago. I hate when readings repeat, but I guess, you know, whatever. Some of these people, like, they come from old money. They come from old money, or the way they obtained their success now is from old practices, old behaviors, old habits, right? And like I said, those behaviors were lower level frequency, all right? And it's like it, for some reason, it allowed them to become who they're going to become, or who they are now, okay? See, yeah. Back to when I said for those of us who have been down and out and like struggling, right? Or maybe you just haven't gotten to where you want it to be in life, right? There is a shift coming for the better, okay? But it could be a little bit chaotic. It's like we have to go through our last purge, our last cleansing, our last release of of just bad behavior, okay? That could keep us away from this, right? Because it seems like when things start to happen to those that this is supposed to happen to, all right? When things start to happen, it's going to seem like your life is falling apart, or it's going to seem like, you know, things are going to go opposite than this Nine of Cups energy. But the Nine of Cups energy is good. It just involves a tower. It involves a moment of confusion. It involves moments of doubt within you, okay? But the sun's at the bottom, all right? What's this tower? Oh, that's too many. Yeah, see the moon. The moon fell over the Nine of Cups. There's some things that even intuitive ones and ones that are tapped in or whatever, there's things about to happen that we don't see coming. And it's going to be a collective, massive shift between like just the human race in general. I feel this is not for just anyone in particular. It's not just for you. It's not just for me. It's for everyone, I feel. Or at least it's for people that have been on a spiritual path, right? And I think a lot of us that are about to come into this tower that seems like a disaster, we've already gone through our share of struggles. Like we could have gone through homelessness, we could have gone through sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, stuff like that, right? Like our lives, for most of us, have mostly been nothing but struggle, whether it's financial, emotional, or mental, right? And unfortunately, it seems like there's one more thing coming. It doesn't have to be huge, right? It could just be a moment of depression. It could be someone's parents could pass. I just heard that. Sorry. There could be a death in your family that takes you down into one more like dark night of the soul type thing, okay? This has to happen, I feel, so we can be open to receive what the universe, Lucifer, God, whoever the fuck, I'm not going through all of that, whoever you talk to has for us. Because I feel whatever they have for us, we have to be emotionally ready to take the good things that come with it and the bad things that come with it. You know what I mean? It's like the term they say, more money, more problems, stuff like that, all right? We have to be ready. Some of you with this star energy, we'll clarify some more, but some of you with this star energy right here, there has to be, like if you're in the public eye, right, and even if you're not and you want to be, right, there has to be some type of, part of your purging is some type of it's almost like you have to go through another ego death. And I've been picking that up a lot. Like another ego death, like a dark night of the soul type energy, right? Because there's something still in you that you're carrying that tricks you out of what you need to obtain whatever the fuck you're trying to obtain. There's like this trickster energy within you. And it tricks, it mostly fucks with you. It doesn't fuck with other people, okay? And this is you at the bottom, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Like whatever this is, like I said, it affects you, right? And not only if you're in the public eye, this is just for those of us that have been struggling our whole lives, right? We have to go through one more purge again. And I do feel it is an ego death because some of us, again, we do carry some type of mental type of thing that works against us, okay? It could be a habit too. It could be addiction. It could be dishonesty for some of us, okay? All right. It's like I said, this is just clarifying, right? The final purge. Like, we have to vomit up the rest of this shit. Some of you guys might physically vomit, or you have physically vomited, right? And it like came out of nowhere. I just felt like some of you, that's really, if you're like super spiritual, right? That happened to you recently, or you don't even have to be super spiritual. It doesn't fucking matter. Someone's gonna vomit, right? And literally. And others of you, it's just gonna be like through tears, through emotion, through truth. Some of you are gonna be forced to speak the truth on things you've been dishonest about. Just do it. Just do it. Oh my gosh, been there. Just do it. Aren't you tired of hiding that lie? Anyway, what's this ace of? Well, tell me more about this. This is yeah, finally gonna become clear, like where a lot of us are gonna get like more downloads about, like, especially if you've been on the road of shadow work, right? Or just the road of self-reflection. If you don't use that term, sorry I'm rubbing my face like that, I don't know why. If you don't use the term shadow work, just self-reflection, right? We're finally going to come to terms with everything, every little thing we need to be aware of, right? And not only are we going to come to terms with it, we're going to make physical change to get that little amount of bleh out of our soul. Do you understand? We're going to be forced to study why and understand why our lives have been topsy-turvy, okay? It's like final exam energy. All right, that is why this tower, that is what this tower really is. Okay. Okay, some of you also, you have to be prepared. I just heard there might be an intentional, during this time, you might experience an intentional spiritual disconnect from your deities, whoever you talk to, right? Just know that they have not like disappeared from you, right? They're just stepping back for a moment so you can really be a vessel to whatever it is you need to feel and hear. Like, you have to feel all of this that's coming in, right? So some of you, you're going to go through a moment of where your intuition is not quite where it used to be. I don't think it's a long time. It might be 2 days, 3 days, right? But it is a warning that you're not going to be as connected as you are for a few days. And it's just simply because you have to be only connected to self. They don't want you to be able to connect to what the universe is saying about this person, about that person, right? If you're a tarot reader, you might not be able to read tarot for a few days for some of you, okay? Or you might just be a little bit more cloudy than usual, and cloudiness happens, but this is like a time they want you to sit back and focus solely on you, right? They're going to push, it's almost like they're there, but they push their energy back. Your deities, your ancestors, whoever the fuck, I don't give a fuck, God. They're there, but they're pulling their energy back, but they're pushing the mirror forward, okay? So you can see these things within, so you can get to this 9 of Cups right here, okay? But after that, you know, we got the 6 of Swords. So it's a short stint. Don't be afraid, right? And no, your gifts aren't gone. They're just suppressed. And your people, whoever you talk to, are suppressing them on purpose, okay? It's really a spiritual level up. And I feel when you come back, when it really hits your mind, when you come back, when you're tapped in again, you're going to be stronger and more clairvoyant and more intuitive and a clearer portal than ever before, all right? This is just a process that has to happen, it seems, okay? And it's a collective thing. It's not just for tarot readers. It's for people that do magic. It's for pastors. It's for prophets. It's for seers, okay? It's not for all of us, but some of you. That's what's going to have to happen. I think it depends on how stubborn you are, okay? We're also going to have to be very careful of spiritual, mental attacks, right? Even physical on our health. And I don't think it's anyone doing it to us individually, or it could be for some of you. But this is just a massive, like, it's going to be an energetic shift, because these people over here that I was speaking of earlier, the ones that seem to be doing so good, but they vibe, their frequency is low, but they use their low frequency to get to where they are, like, successful. We're going to be feeling their doom. We're going to be feeling their depression, right? And they're going to be lashing out, especially if they are seen on YouTube, Instagram, celebrity, movies, presidential house. I don't fucking know, right? We need to cover ourselves, because their anger, their disdain, right, is going to be so heavy, because remember, it's a collective thing. Collectively, these individuals, their shit's going to be so heavy, it's going to affect those that have been basically the chosen ones. I don't want to say that. It's going to affect us, all right? Because they feel themselves getting pushed out of their high horse. They feel themselves getting pushed out of their throne, right? They're watching their monarchy fall. They're watching everything be destroyed that they built up, okay? But they can't do anything to stop it, even if they have money for now. Even if they have money, oh, my eyes just got blurry. Even if they have money for now, right? Because since it's not a physical, it's not actually a physical, like, shift. It is happening physically, but since it's a karmic shift, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of chance, there's no amount of lawyers, no amount of doctors for some of them that can change what's happening. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, right? And of course, not everybody that has passed recently, but we've been seeing a lot of deaths, right? That's a part of this shift happening, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. Cover yourselves, guys. I'm not saying, oh, cover yourself from death, because do I feel like any of my viewers are going to die? No. Or I'm going to die? No. Or my family? Or no. Now, some of you could have deaths around you, unfortunately, and you might look at the people in your family that die. Now, not all of you. If you've had people die and they were, you know, nice or whatever, my condolences. Make it fit where it's supposed to fit. But if you look at some of the people in your family that have died or around you, right, and they carried this type of energy, again, if they carried this type of energy, if they didn't, don't force it to fit, okay? You'll recognize that they were a part of this shift happening, okay? There's a lot of weird shit happening. All right? Yeah. The things that used to work for these people, back to the low vibrational frequency I told you that they used to thrive off of, it's not going to work anymore, right? They are going to be forced to be almost sit in this box and reflect on their life. Like, I don't want to say his name. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it, but forced to sit in a box, right, and reflect on everything they've done to maintain where they are. I think some of you can understand who I'm speaking of, right? This is going to happen to a lot of people. These people that have been at the top, vibrating on this low frequency, thriving off of it, they're about to have to sit in their own shit and really forced to reflect on their life. That's why everything is getting taken from them, right? It's like it's getting taken from them recycled and cleansed and given to those of us who have been struggling, who have been doing the spiritual work, who have been, asking for forgiveness, who've been shadow working, all that stuff, trying to be a good person through life, okay? And these people that's falling, it's not just all top level people. This is people around you that just have maintained a good job forever, and they like tried to throw it in your face and act like they were better than you. And then even though it's just a good job, which is a blessing, my eyes are getting blurry, which is a blessing, their vibration doesn't deserve it. And you often looked at them and said, well, why do they have that and I don't? And they act like this, Do we get it? All right. I got makeup in my eyeball. Okay. Is there anything else? I'm really just getting anxious. Readings like this, I get anxious for some time, not even gonna lie. Is there anything else we need to know? Yeah, see? Can't make it happen. Look, sometimes I look at the pictures, right? See this emperor, right? And this card, he looks pretty, depressed. Right? And then there's the 9 of Swords behind him. That is what is happening to those that operated off of a low frequency and thrived off of it. This is what is happening to them. Look at him. Look at him! And look what's behind him. He's trying to stay on his high horse, but he knows it's falling. He does. This could be podcasters too, I just heard. Just people with YouTube channels, right? And they've been not paying people right or doing people crazy. Like, look, justice. Justice. And the 4 of Pentacles. All right? They have no control anymore. Karma does. The universe does. Okay? I mean, I guess that's pretty much it, y'all. I have to step out and take like a breath because this shit made me anxious at the end. So, thanks for watching.